Yeah, that body's a blessing, girl. I ain't trying to pressure her. She messed with the temperature. Hard wrote this.
I mean, are you still watching the video? If you are, go ahead and drop a like and post a comment. How long have you been watching? Post a comment. Just look at the YouTube timer, tell me. I've heard this is good against aging. You push away the wrinkles. Oh. How red are my cheeks? Oh my god. Oh my god, my cheeks are so red. That's what you get if you do this so long. Hurts pretty bad. Oh. Trying to switch up cheeks. With the world record.
Had been there at the introduction of the euro, we would never have suffered from a crisis of such magnitude. In any case, we would have got over the crisis much more quickly and with less social and financial costs. With the vote today, I trust we will demonstrate the benefits and the functioning of the community method. When looking in retrospect the EU's crisis response and thinking of today's vote and the Commission's declaration on a redemption fund and Eurobills, I can only wish that the Council had been persuaded and supportive of the community method already in spring 2010, 3 years ago. I am referring to the critical ECOFIN meeting of the 9th and 10th of May 2010, when the Commission on Europe Day, in one of our crisis meetings, made a proposal to create a single European financial stability mechanism based first on guarantees by the EU budget until €60 billion and then on joint and several guarantees beyond that. That would have presented the kind of big bazooka that has helped to tame the systemic crisis only since last year with the ECB's LTRO interventions and OMT decisions. Instead, we got the far clumsier EFSF, which was only last year turned into a permanent and well-capitalized institution, ESM. I dare to claim that our response to the crisis would have delivered better and faster results for our citizens if the original proposals of the Commission had in spring 2010 found acceptance among the Member States. But the time was not ripe yet then for decisions of... Madam President, can I finish? Okay, thank you. Appreciate. So, to make clear the Commission's intentions as regards the future steps, I want to declare the following on behalf of the Commission. And I ask for your patience, and you have to forgive me if I am exceptionally long by my standards, but this is all a rather comprehensive and fragile solution.
It's not the oldest and simplest, but Newtonian gravity. And going a little beyond what Newton, certainly nothing that Newton would not have recognized or couldn't have grasped. Newton could grasp anything, but some ways of thinking about it which will not be found in Newton's actual work, but still Newtonian gravity. Newtonian gravity set up in a way that, that is useful for going on to the general theory. Okay, let's begin with Newton's equations. The first equation, of course, is F equals ma. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. Let's assume that we have a frame of reference. A frame of reference, that it means a set of coordinates and it's a collection of clocks. And that frame of reference is what is called an inertial frame of reference. An inertial frame of reference simply means one which, if there are no objects around to exert forces on a particular, let's call it a test object. A test object is just some object, a small particle or anything else, that we use to test out the various fields, force fields that might be acting on it. An inertial frame is one which, when there are no objects around to exert forces, that object will move with uniform motion with no acceleration. That's the idea of an inertial frame of reference. And so if you're in an inertial frame of reference and you have a pen and you just let it go, it stays there. It doesn't move. If you give it a push, it will move off with uniform velocity. That's the idea of an inertial frame of reference. And in an inertial frame of reference, the basic Newtonian equation number one, I always forget which law is which. There's Newton's first law, second law, and third law. I never can remember which is which, but they're all pretty much summarized by F equals mass times acceleration. This is a vector equation. I expect people know what a vector is. A three-vector equation. We'll come later to four vectors, where when space and time are united into space-time. But for the moment, space is space and time is time, and a vector means a thing which is a pointer in a direction in space. It has a magnitude, and it has components. Right? So component by component, the x component of the force is equal to the mass of the object times the x component of acceleration, y component, z component, and so forth. And in order to indicate that something is a vector equation, I'll try to remember to put an arrow over vectors. The mass is not a vector. The mass is simply a number. Every particle has a mass. Every object has a mass. And in Newtonian physics, the mass is conserved. It does not change. Now, of course, the mass of this cup of coffee here can change. It's lighter now, but it only changes because mass has been transported from one place to another. So you can change the mass of an object by whacking off a piece of it, but if you don't change the number of particles, change the number of molecules, and so forth, then the mass is a conserved.
Intro for your YouTube video. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be making. Hello there and welcome to another Partners in Crime tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to teach you how to make a simple minimalist title intro. You can use this tutorial to make simple animated titles for your YouTube videos, simple lower thirds, or just a simple intro for your YouTube video. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be making. Alright, now that we've seen what we're going to be making, let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to press X on our keyboard and we're going to delete this default cube. Now we're going to press numpad 1 and we're going to press Control Alt numpad 0. Now we're going to change this render engine to cycles render, and we're going to go down here and change the end frames to 400. We'll try 400 for now. I'm going to change the start frame to 0, and we're going to go over here and change the frame rate to 60 frames per second, and we're going to drag the resolution all the way up to 100%. We're going to change the output to xvid, and now we're going to click that folder, and we're going to choose a folder on our computer we want our file to save to. You can save it to your documents or your desktop or any folder on your computer you'd like. We're just going to save it to our documents, and we're going to name this Minimalist Tutorial. So now you're going to click accept, and it'll save to, once you're done rendering it, it'll save to whichever folder you've chosen over here, and you're just going to click accept. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and we're going to change the sampling to, let's try 100 samples, and we'll put the preview, let's try 40. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to performance down here, encoding, and we're going to change the bit rate to the maximum. We'll put it at 17,000. Alright, so now we're ready to go ahead and start making our intro. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the world settings, and we're going to change this world to black. That just changes the background to black. You can go into render view and see how that looks. And so your background is black. Now we're going to go back into solid view, and what we're going to do is we're going to add our text. So we're going to press RX90. I'm going to press enter to confirm the rotation. I'm going to press tab and erase the text. And you can type whatever text you want here, but for this tutorial we're just going to type minimalist. Then we're going to press tab, and we're going to press shift D, and we're going to drag this down here, and we're going to press tab, and we're going to type intro, and we're going to press tab again. So now you have your text, and it says minimalist intro. Again, you can put whatever text you like here, but for this tutorial we're just going to put that here. So now we're going to add curve, and we're going to add a Bezier curve, and now we're going to press RX90, and we're going to press enter to confirm that rotation. And now we're going to press tab to go into edit mode, and we're going to press V, and we're going to click vector, and we're going to press tab to exit edit mode, and we're going to press RY-90, and we're going to press enter to confirm that rotation. Now we're just going to drag this line over here, and we're going to press SZ to size it up a bit, and we're going to press enter to confirm that. And
What's up guys? Today is my first episode of Ghost House. I'm here Rehan. Ghost House. Wow. Scared? What? Oh, has previous message. Cleared. Wow, go. So today's my first episode and today I'm going to call a ghost. Wow, that's not a ghost. So, how can we call a ghost? Yeah, I call the spirit of coin. I call the spirit of coin. Her name is Penny. I asked, and then I asked her some questions and she answered. Absolutely correct. She even knew my friend's mother's name. Wow, cool. So when I asked her number, first she was not responding. Then she said 911. So I just tried to call. I have a watch, so I call it with it. And 911. When I called it, it just said emergency number. And then emergency number, and my friends also tried to call her. It was not responding. When I went home and I called it again, it really worked. Penny picked the phone. And today I'm again going to try this experiment. So I'm going to call from this phone 911. It's an emergency number, but I think something. So we'll call. Here it goes. 911. Here it goes. Not responding. Why? Let me try it again. It's going again. Yeah, it's going. Oh no. Let me try it again. Oh yes! Well, it picked. Speaker. Hello? 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 Is this Penny? Hello, Penny? What? Is this Penny? What do you want to say? Please? Penny? Is this Penny? Will you hurt me? Will you hurt me? What are you saying? What? What are you trying to say? I will kill you. But why? Is this Penny? Yeah? What are you doing? What? Hello? What? Penny? Please? Be a bit clear, please. What? What are you saying? What are you saying? Penny? What? Hello, hello? Oh no. I am really surprised. What was that? So, a conversation with a ghost. Interesting. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Right now I'm a bit afraid. No problem, thanks for watching my video. Like, share, comment.